Hey guys, and welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie. You hear that note of happiness in my voice? That's because we're past the Mad Monster Mansions. We're past the Rusty Bucket Bays. It's time for the final level of the game. It's technically 4 levels in 1. It's Click Clock Wood, home of the seasons.
I'm getting a real Zelda vibe all of a sudden.
Well, Project Dream did have a few Ocarina-esque elements towards the end.
So, I mean, in a way, this is sort of a mixture of Ocarina of Time and Tick-Tock Clock. Because, obviously, with Tick-Tock Clock, that was a level that you could enter at different points and it would change how the level actually was, with, obviously, the speed of all of the platforms. So, in a way, it's kind of blending different times/seasons and a level with multiple versions of itself.
I don't know why that cutscene happens there and only there, considering it's functionally same, this enemy type, to the Grill Chompers, but I guess they just wanted to start off on a crazy note. I guess Click Clock Wood is by far one of the biggest levels in the game, at least for Rare, because it is said that Click Clock Wood was the hardest level for them to design, and I can honestly see why, because all 4 seasons have, like, unique, set pieces, unique music variations, and it's just a really fun level overall. And I think we mentioned back in Rusty Bucket Bay that this really is kind of different to what you'd expect from the final level in a 3D platformer. It's like nice, bright, and colourful, and the music is, just bopping to and fro. Think back to Mario 64, and the final level was, what, Bowser in... It's not Bowser in the Dark World, is it?
Let me check.
I think you're confusing it with Link to the Past there.
No, there is a level called Bowser in the Dark World.
Oh, okay.
So, it is Bowser in the Sky, apparently. Bowser in the Dark World is one of the Bowser levels, but I don't think it's actually the last one.
Okay.
The last one is Bowser in the Sky.
So, what do you guys think is the best season? Because, personally, I was born in autumn, and I prefer the colder months overall. And I would say October to December is my favourite stretch of any given year, because you've got Halloween, you've got my birthday, the best holiday of them all, November 24th, remember it, do not forget, and then you have Christmas, which is Jesus' birthday.
But let's face it, it's not nearly as important as yours, is it, Tom?
I'm choosing not to answer that.
Well, I mean, considering, I think technically using one calendar or another, my birthday's technically on Jesus' birthday as well. Yeah, basically, I think on the Georgian calendar or something, the 7th of January is the same date as the 25th of December.
Alright, don't use your brains in this argument, alright? That's not fair. Like, if you look at my birthday from a certain angle, I'm also Jesus. Alright, about to drop some mad music trivia on you. Richie, you're cultured, you'll probably get this. What song is the theme for Click Clock Wood largely based on?
I'm not 100% sure, sorry.
Well, give us a guess.
You beautiful doll, do-do-do-do-do. You heard that before? It's Oh You Beautiful Doll, a ragtime love song published in 1911 by Seymour Brown and Nat the Ayer.
Oh, they taught us that in school. Oh, I should have known that.
Oh, ragtime class, of course. I think I skipped all of those. The theme for the spring section was the very first song composed for the game by Grant I Am a God at Music Kirkhope.
That's a really arrogant middle name. Did his parents give him that, or...?
It's just a weird coincidence, okay.
Yeah, it's just strange that my middle name turned out this way, It doesn't normally happen.
What's cool about Click Clock Wood is it actively encourages exploration. Like, I guess every level in the game does this, but this one's different because apart from Spring, whose level switch you can find in the heart of Click Clock Wood, which is what I believe the entrance is called, you have to find the other season switches within, like, each level, just by exploring, as you would normally. So we found summer here, we'll find the switch for autumn, or fall, if we go to summer, and the one for winter is in fall, or autumn.
I mean, at least it goes in order, because it would have been really bizarre going from spring to winter to summer to autumn or something.
I believe the most obvious comparison here, Helldragon, is one of your favourite Zelda games.
Oh, is that right?
Oracle of Motherfucking Seasons.
Yes, that's true. That game is really focused on, cycling through the various seasons, and as a whole, I tend to find it a better designed game anyway. That game focuses more on action, Ages, its counterpart focuses more on puzzles, but wherein the puzzles in Oracle of Seasons are sensible, the puzzles in Oracle of Ages are absolutely fucking terrible at times. I direct you to Jabu Jabu's belly, as usual.
They just require a lot of busy work, really.
Yeah, definitely. If they had just cut that down significantly. I played for a good bit of Ages, because I wanted to do that first, and I got to the part where you had to, dance with the Gorgons to, not Gorgons, Gorons, close enough.
Get it wrong, they turn you to stone.
Yeah, where you have to dance with them to continue, and I've always hated those mini-games and puzzle shit where you're doing dumb shit that's not required in the main game to continue, so I just have not touched it since.
Oh.
But, you didn't ask me earlier about my favorite seasons. I was also actually born, in the later months of the year. My birthday is December 10th, very close to Christmas, incidentally. But even though I really do enjoy the holiday seasons, just in particular, that kind of atmosphere is great. My favorite seasons, weather-wise, tends to be more about spring, summer, things like that. I'm not a huge fan of the cold. If it's a little bit cold and, it feels cool but not too bad outside, that's fine. But for the most part, I tend to prefer the warmer months.
He's doing it! He's doing it! Yes, make me a T-Rex capable of crushing Gruntilda beneath my foot. Oh.
Da 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 da. Oh.
I thought he was gonna turn Banjo into a tiny T-Rex like that one from Tekken,
Oh, Gone.
Yeah, Gon, yeah, the little fighting one.
Everyone fucking loves Gon.
Because Gon is cool. It's a little chibi T-Rex guy.
It's the bee! Look at him!
Oh, that's not as cute as the pumpkin. I think so far, the pumpkin has probably been the cutest transformation.
The bee can basically fly, and that's about it. He returns in Tui, and he has a stinger shooter.
Nice.
Which is odd for a bee, because, as you may know, when bees shoot their stingers, they die.
Well, that, and also, I'm slightly concerned for Bee Banjo here, because he doesn't have a stinger at all, so he technically should be dead already.
Well, he has one on his nose, you noticed that, right?
Well, yeah, but that's his nose. The stinger's meant to be on the butt.
Well, maybe he's just flying backwards. Have you considered that?
Maybe Mumbo just got his spell wrong. He was so hype to turn us into a T-Rex, and then backed out at the last second. His brain just stopped working.
That could very well be true.
And of course we have to make the obvious Buck Bumble reference,
Buckety Buck Bumble.
Yeah, that's a surprisingly kind of funky theme song. I like that, even though I've never played the game. The game looks fun, I have to admit. It was developed by the same people who did Croc, Argonaut Software, which don't exist anymore.
And the people who did Harry Potter PS1.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, we mentioned that during the commentary, didn't we?
Well, this is going to turn into a Doctor Who finale, where it turns out all the games we're covering have been made by the same people, and there's just a massive conspiracy.
Well, most of the time the games you tend to cover are Mario, Sonic anyway, and Kingdom Hearts, of course.
No, you're thinking of Hellfire Commons from a few years ago, mate.
Oh, so what are we now? Did they did we just experience a kind of evolution I wasn't present for?
Well, you were probably present for it, but like usual, you just fucking forgot. Don't worry, we'll be back for the bee, but I'm fairly certain he could only exist in the spring portion of Click Clockwood. So, I guess we'll have to go visit a new season now.
Ah.
Don't you dare fucking say it, Richard.
What?
No more puppy power. Not now, not ever.
Okay, I won't say it.
I hate you for bringing that up, because now I can't get it out of my head.
Well, it's not my fault that they put it in the game. Blame Grant Kirkhope, it's his fault.
Oh, I will. I'm going to blast him on Twitter after we're done recording this. Hey, fuck, no context either. Fuck you, Grant.
You're just out of nowhere, you fucking asshole. Just throw him the hell off.
Well, I mean, kind of bringing up people hating on Grant Kirkhope. I mean, if you think about the whole thing with the music for ukulele, there was massive outcry when it was announced that they wanted to do the soundtrack with a full orchestra. And yeah, everyone was just being really, really mean to Grant for no apparent reason. It was just like, no, it needs to be the N64 sound font. It needs to be that because that is how it needs to be. Rather than just thinking, let the guy have his orchestra if he wants an orchestra.
I can think of many other counter arguments than just N64. You can make it sound like the N64 without actually having MIDI shit.
Well, exactly, and also, I mean, the thing is that if you listen to, I mean, the Nuts and Bolts soundtrack, from what I've heard of it, is absolutely amazing.
It's okay.
And, I mean, the only reason that I'd say Banjo sounds like it does is because of technical limitations, so it's kind of a bit ridiculous to say you should limit your possibilities for no apparent reason. I mean, the thing is that the music that they revealed kind of had the banjo tone to it, and that was using a full orchestra, so it's kind of just like, well, why not just let him do what he wants?
They had the similar banjo lills like dum, tsh, dum, tsh, dum, tsh, dum, dum, the chimes and the bells and such.
Exactly, and it's just like, it's possible to do with real instruments and a real orchestra, so you don't need to do this synthesized stuff, especially if he doesn't want to do that.
Perfect time for me to bring up now. There's jiggies and whatnot that actually span whole seasons. Like, obviously we couldn't get into, well, we couldn't break the rock in spring, but in summer there's a drought going on, so we can break that rock, but we can't actually get into Naughty's place to receive the reward, or, the jiggy, until autumn. And another example is the tree that, well, not the tree, the plant, the flower, that started growing in spring because we planted some eggs, will, I believe, come to fruition in autumn as well.
I mean, I have to say, I think that's a really clever idea. I mean, it makes the most of this level gimmick. Because, I mean, if they'd just gone with, let's just not do things over the entire 4 seasons, then it'd kind of just be like, well, then what's the point in you doing a level based around 4 seasons?
It's just so cool. It's like, you don't see this at the end of, platformers and such. It's such a happy-go-lucky kind of thing. And I think, while it may not be my favourite level in the game, this is definitely in top 5. I would say my top 5 would be, you got Freeze Easy Peak, Treasure Trove Cove, Click Clockwood, Gobi's Valley. I'm struggling to find a 5th one.
Oh, poor Gobi is back.
Oh, Gobi. You are really fate's bitch. Oh, he's just gonna stay there, I guess. Well, I shall see you next month for more punishment.
Now, I know you're currently gathering caterpillar, because I'm sensing another recurring theme of this area is, that bird dinosaur thing that hatched.
It's an eagle, Helldragon.
Eagle, okay, whatever. It's hard to tell in fucking Banjo-Kazooie. They had the 64 polygons to work with here. But at the same time, I noticed they got, a deadbeat parent who's not taking care of them, so it's up to Banjo-Kazooie to do the work. Well, I guess Kazooie is probably the closest thing to a potential mother figure that this eagle might have, so...
She actually gets a hatching move in the second game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because there's these things called, I think, split-up pads, which allow you to control Banjo and Kazooie individually, and they each get individual, unique moves, and the like. Like, Banjo can walk on the vines by literally going inside his backpack and using it like a, a sack race kind of thing, Richie.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Banjo-Tooie is just beginning to sound even weirder than I thought it was.
It's exponentially more... what's the best word to describe this? Creative, I guess, compared to Banjo-Kazooie, but that also sounds like a slight. Risky, shall we say. It takes a lot more risks.
Risque?
Well, I suppose we could call it that as well.
Well, considering Rare's sense of humour, risque is probably quite accurate.
Come here so I can bite you, ah!
Those things that come out of the holes, you know what they're called?
Birds?
Big cluckers.
Birds, you're right.
Thank you, Richie.
A big mother clucker.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me there's a character called Big Mother Clucker, actually.
And if there was one, it would turn up in Conkers Bad Fur Day, but no. In Banjo-Tooie's multiplayer mode, if a player chooses to play as Gruntilda Winky Bunyan, then she would hold a bird that resembles the Big Clucker in Tarjitizan's Temple Shootout. Yes, there are FPS stuff in Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah, isn't there one in Rusty Industries that's like one of the worst things ever to happen in the entire series?
Grunty Industries, mate. You said Rusty. I think you're suffering from a little bit of shell shock here.
Probably. I did mean Grunty Industries, so...
Alright, boss time. We briefly encountered the Zubbers in spring, but now it's summer, the height of heat, and these bees are pissed.
Whoa, I love the voice effect they got going there for the bee.
Waspinator to terrorize!
Yeah, I'm getting a Waspinator sort of thing here. Oh, look at this. Come on. This guys, please.
I don't give a fuck.
They really didn't put up much of a fight, did they?
No. Well, maybe Gruntilda should check the higher sections of the newspaper more carefully.
She should also really stop putting all of these golden feathers everywhere, because it's kind of screwing her over big time.
Do you think it's her, or do you think it's maybe Bottles doing this? We're getting to a very meta kind of analysis now.
Well, I mean, the thing is that how could Bottles get up to some of these locations? I mean, I know he's done some pretty miraculous locations anyway, but, like, he seems quite lazy in that respect. It's just like, I don't think he'd go out of his way to put out all of these feathers.
Well, you say that, but you have to remember that A, Bottles knows a variety of moves to teach Banjo and Kazooie, including things like flying, and B, this is the same mole who somehow had a dirt mound that he popped out of on, you know, the mast of a ship where you're supposed to, like, watch out, and there was, like, no dirt underneath. So I'm pretty sure we can conclude that Bottles can do the job.
I apologise in advance, by the way. I've always been terrible at judging this jump, so down I go.
Wow.
Bang.
Ooh, good one.
Those are snare bears, by the way.
I thought he was clapping at your fall.
Ha, you're so good, Banjo. Shut the fuck up, snare bear. I'm trying my best over here.
I'll whoop your ass.
Snare bears, by the way, you can only stand on A if you've got the Wonder Wing going, or B if you're a bee.
So in many ways, Bee Mario took quite a lot of inspiration from Bee Banjo.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
Because it's the flying thing, the suit allowing you to stand on platforms that you couldn't otherwise stand on, etc, etc, etc.
The best way to end a sentence you have no idea how to end, just tag etc on the end.
And just to make it even better, just go etc, 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 and it's just fine.
No, you know what? I don't think that works for every sentence. Who killed my husband? You know, murderers, etc, etc.
What's cool is it's not just like this, you know, the seasonal effects that change. Like obviously there's a drought now, but the actual level is building as we go on. Like this will be much more full in the next one, and that fort or hut over there will be fully complete by the time winter rolls around.
Well, surely it's tree house, considering it's a house up a tree.
Treehouse, thank you, Richie. Pedantic asshole. Look, it's so hot. These grubbling hoods, that's their name, have actually taken their shirts off and they're kind of sunbathing.
Yo, what's up? I thought they were just trying to act tough, you know, like, yo, you mess with us, Banjo, we got huge muscles.
Fucking hate these guys, especially on these sections. Right, let's feed Eerie. He's a growing lad after all.
You know, I've just thought of something. You know the Grublin Hoods?
Uh-huh.
So they're basically just referencing Robin Hood. I mean, you can tell from the green in the hat.
And the name.
And it's just, and the woods with the big tree.
Yeah.
Very subtle, rare. I mean, I do quite like it because obviously it's that they're based in Leicestershire. And obviously they're referencing Nottinghamshire, so that's quite nice.
Oh yeah, the major... I never caught the Major Oak thing before. You know, the name and the feather in the hat was obvious.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just the fact that we are working around a massive tree, and that kind of does, in a way, reference the Major Oak, which is quite nice.
Always got something to say, Gruntilda. Rah, rah. Don't go in my bathroom and touch my shit. Something that has to rhyme with shit. Just kind of pops in when you don't really want her opinion about anything.
That's why she's such a great villain, because all throughout the lair, and I'm sure John will agree with me on this, although he has no idea I even exist.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's so sad. I wake up every morning crying because of that fact, but it's just the build-up. It's like you hear her talking shit to you all throughout the lair, and then bang, you reach the top of the castle, and it's time to fight. My birth season, autumn. I mean, you get the cold, and you get... Well, I guess some people would enjoy the lack of snow.
Yeah, I want to know what that's like because we never really had snow down here where I'm at. So, thanks for rubbing that wound for me. That's
an urban legend in Florida, I believe. Snow has tried to settle so many times, but the second it touches the floor, it just evaporates.
Actually, you say that, but I believe at one point when I was real little, it was cold enough that a little bit of snow did actually appear. Like, there wasn't anything to work with there, but we did see it briefly.
I'm sorry, but that's like 20 plus years ago, and it makes it twice as funny.
That's true, I'm just kind of holding on to this memory, you know? Like, back in my day, we had a little bit of snow, and we enjoyed it.
Legends tell that rain once fell in Florida.
Yeah, in a solid shape, which the mystics had no idea what to make of.
You know what makes this even more kind of sad? Is that I think it's predicted at the minute. This obviously may change, but the chances of us getting a white Christmas in the UK has gone up quite dramatically.
Hell yeah.
So, yes, whilst you may be suffering from lack of snow, Helldragon, we may be having an abundance of it, and on Christmas Day, which will be absolutely lovely, because it's been many, many, many years since our last white Christmas.
I remember the last white Christmas. It was 2012. I was poor as shit, and there was no heating in my house, and I almost died of hypothermia.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you brought that up. Now we can take this commentary and take it towards the dark turn that Banjo-Kazooie has needed for a long time.
Drop the mood! Where?
Now you're just collecting Caterpies at this point.
I should probably tell you a little bit about the notes and whatnot in this level. If I can find it. Oh no, I've scrolled past what I needed to find. Where is it? Ah, here we go. With the exception of Autumn, each season in Click Clock Wood has 16 musical notes. The entrance has 4, leaving 48 notes in Autumn. And I think there's 4 notes in the Zubba's Nest in Autumn as well.
Okay, it's easy to make fun of Gobi when you make a noise like that.
He mentions the lava world here. I talked a little bit about Mount Fire Eyes in a previous part.
Yeah.
Obviously not in the final game. He turns up in the fire/lava side of Hailfire Peaks in Banjo-Tooie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and he's grown a beard in the period between Kazooie and Tooie, because I think there's about 2 years or so between the first and second games.
Because when you get routinely beaten up by Banjo-Kazooie, you start to develop that killer edge you need, and every killer needs a beard.
No, I mean more like an old man's beard, not like a rugged, oh, I am the Punisher kind of beard.
Although that would have been pretty cool.
I'm not actually sure the Punisher has a beard.
Well, he had a beard at one point, actually. He kind of looked like Big Boss in a way.
I believe it's time to turn to my notes. Do I have anything else? Apt. Via emulator, if you would have gone up into the autumn sky, you would have been teleported back into the heart of Click Clock Wood, whilst other skies just stop you as if hitting a ceiling.
Huh, that's weird.
Why does that happen?
Technical quirks, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, you can walk into a wall and fall through the floor in certain games.
Let's see how Mumbo's doing. He's sweeping up leaves!
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, so he can't transform you here. That's why the bee is only available in spring.
That's kind of a bit stupid. It's just like, come on, dude, don't be so lazy.
No, many leaves to sweep.
He can spend like 5 seconds just turning us into a bee. It's not that hard.
Oh, whatever. If you come here in spring, he's relaxing on a deck chair and fanning himself. I had no reason to actually come here in summer because there's like no notes or anything, so I apologise for that.
Oh my god, the puppy power is there in the blooming boots as well. Oh.
You failed me, Richie, you failed me. Well, at least the plant has grown to its full potential now, so if we go up to the Zubba's hive, we can drop down and get that golden sucker. Jiggy's never failed me. Jiggy's never put earworms into my mind.
Well, maybe some of them are parasites, you never know.
True, very true. I love how there's like different bits and pieces, like little touches in each version of the Click Clock Wood theme, and there's frogs croaking in the background of the autumn one. It's great.
Oh, frogs! Ew.
I mentioned autumn is kind of like winter without the snow. I describe autumn as more crisp than anything. Yeah, it's quite cold, but there's also a lot of rain. It's a very fresh kind of month.
Yeah, but I mean, it is mostly rainy. I mean, it's gotten weirder over the past few years because, like, in terms of British weather, like, September and October have tended to be quite sunny recently, and then it gets, like, bitterly cold at the end of October as it has done right now. And basically, autumn doesn't really happen that much anymore. You go straight from sort of summer into winter.
Wait, that guy didn't even have a chance of biting you. You just went back to kill him because you're a dick.
Well, I can't leave anyone alive. Then they could come back and kill me.
Yeah, it's the Banjo-Kazooie 100% genocide run. Let's just make this topical and dated while we can.
Well, I mean, we were talking about that gritty Banjo reboot, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, the worst things to do a gritty reboot of, because
Bomberman.
that does... I'm sorry?
Bomberman.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good example, yeah.
Why wasn't that your first four?
Well, I was trying to finish the thought before I came up with it, but yeah, I think Bomberman Act Zero is probably the worst gritty reboot ever.
Ah, the fruits of our seasonal labour.
Those are petals.
Richie, why do we put up with this guy?
Because I'm popular? And I'm so lovable, too.
And so humble.
That's true. I sell most of the merchandise, of course. Although, if we ever do get HFC merchandise, I'm probably just going to make, like, cherry sours, because that would be great.
Yeah, good luck getting that past whoever permits cherry sours to be sold.
Yeah, there's a whole government body for that kind of thing. I'll have to work on my proposal.
Individual flavours have individual governments. It's such a waste of money, but by god damn it, we're worth it.
Well, that's how bureaucracy works, man.
Oh, I've got nothing else to say. I'll talk about Jinjos. The Jinjos of this world are closely related to their seasons. Pink and green are in spring, obviously representing flowers and grass. Yellow is in summer, representing the sun. Orange is in autumn, representing, the leaves turning. And blue is in winter, representing ice. It's cool as ice.
Well, it was kind of odd that technically they could have had the yellow in spring for daffodils.
I can't think of the word daffodil now without thinking of Futurama. Daffodil.
You'll have to explain the joke for those of us uneducated in Futurama.
There's something to do with the robot Bender and his favourite words.
Etc., etc. There
Thank
you go.
you.
Rightio.
Okay, now we have to find some nuts, because that's apparently a thing you do in autumn.
Well, yes, because the squirrels have got to kind of store up for the winter, otherwise they're going to die.
Very tragic.
He's got one in his house, come on.
Well, you can't reach it up there.
Wasn't even fucking looking. Oh, you found my acorn. Yeah, because I looked up for a fucking change.
One of these took me forever to find, and you'll probably think it's really obvious. I just kept walking past it when I was doing my retakes, and I have to apologise. There were, save states. I did each season separately. There were no save states within each particular season, only when I was going into the level. I tried so hard, but I could get up to, the middle of summer, maybe autumn, and then I'd just be, so exhausted I'd make a mistake. So I apologise, had to do it this way, otherwise there would have been no playthrough.
See, this is like the DVD commentary for the playthrough now that I think about it.
That's what I envisioned HFC to be to begin with, a kind of DVD commentary. That's why I introduce as the way we do at like the start of every playthrough and the like, because if you ever watch a DVD commentary, it'll say like, hello, I'm Steven Spielberg, I guess, and...
Wow, you got him for a Let's Play? That's awesome!
Yeah, I'm kind of spoiling stuff for 2016, eh? We do have some cool stuff planned for 2016, so please don't unsubscribe. The ad revenue is so important to me.
Trust us, there'll be reasons to unsubscribe later on.
Oh yeah.
Well, it will be, considering we will do another, 9-month hiatus for no apparent reason.
No. We're never going on a hiatus ever again. 2015 is our most productive year ever. If I may be a tad corny for a sec, not that I'm usually anything other, but I've said this quite a few times via the recap videos I do every month, but I just want to thank you all for sticking with us through the ups and downs over the years. It really does mean a lot specifically, and it's nice to see that we can still make videos that people find entertaining and tune into every day, so thank you very much.
Also, I have to say, I'm kind of disappointed that this guy isn't a subtle reference to Conker. I mean, obviously...
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, you've got a squirrel in a rare game, and I'm pretty sure Conker's Bad Fur Day came out slightly before Banjo. I might be wrong on that.
That big mother clocker.
Yeah, but it's just like...
Don't try to react, Richie. I'm the one who was in pain, not you.
Well, we're sympathizing.
Oh god, there's 18 minutes left. I like Click-Clock Wood, but not for 40 minutes at a time.
Well, hell, it's easier to talk about this place than fucking Rusty Bucket Bay.
Now imagine Rusty Bucket Bay for 2 hours.
Oh my god.
You're right over there, old man.
No!
He chose poorly. He sounds like he's aging.
How do you guys feel about autumn in general, in regards to trampling through leaves? I know I'm digging deep to find stuff to talk about now, but that's one of my favourite memories of the season, especially walking to or I would say from school at the end of the day, just trampling through crunchy leaves and the like.
It is quite fun.
I mean, that sensation is pretty good, although for me, it, again, usually has to kind of do with the holidays. I liked it when the, air was getting colder and we were waiting for, Thanksgiving to kick in so we can get off from school. Things like that. That kind of stuff was really worth it.
I think the main thing I remember from autumn, and I'm pretty sure it is autumn, is kind of the Conkers. I might be completely wrong in that, but I seem to recall it was always autumn time when the Conkers fell from the trees, and then everybody kind of collected them, and then played Conkers, which is just great fun.
I was so bad at that game, I could never win a single round.
Don't worry, I was always pretty terrible as well. It's the hand-eye coordination, but it's a very different type of hand-eye coordination than what is used to play video games, which is so frustrating.
It's similar in principle to, pointing a Christmas cracker, because you either win or you don't. There's no in-between.
Okay, first off, I thought you guys were talking about Conker, as in, the video game, Conker's Bad Fur Day, so I'm like... The Conker video games don't fall from the trees. One barely fell for the N64, and we haven't seen him in years since. And the second one is, Conkers, is that the same as, Wizard Crackers or whatever?
Jesus Christ.
What? It's a legitimate question.
How about a taste of my Super Wizard Conkers, Potter?
What the hell is a Conker? What do you do with one?
Well, why don't you open Google, follow Richie's example, and type it in?
Well, I mean, I assumed you guys knew off the top of your head, and we would explain it as a form of commentary for this video game that we're playing
Oh,
at the
Jesus
moment.
Christ, Richie, just get it over and tell us what a conker is.
Spoon feed me, come on.
So, a conker is the seed of a horse chestnut tree. And basically what you do is you take the conkers and you put a string through them. You generally kind of do some sort of preservation stuff on the conker to try and make it harder and sturdier, and then so you've got your conker on a string, so you have another person with a conker on a string, and then you've got to try and whack the other person's conker and break it, and whoever's conker survives the match is the victor.
Can't you guys play Pokemon like everyone else?
What the fuck is wrong with you, Brit? So backwards.
I mean, I think the main thing I remember from autumn, and I'm pretty sure it is autumn, is the hand-eye coordination, which is so frustrating.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Brit? So backwards. What the fuck is wrong with you, Brit? So backwards.
Did you guys not get Pokemon before us or something?
We got Pokemon just fine, although that being said, my copy of Red was an American one.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we did get Pokemon Red and Blue, like, a year later than America, if I recall correctly.
Mate, we got everything years later in Powerland.
Pretty much,
fucking nerve of these Americans talking about not getting, like, an RPG or two, or just a single game, like a month or two after PAL nowadays. You've got no idea what it was like to live in Powerland. None at all.
Exactly, but the funny thing is that, so, at my primary school, or, well, junior school, because it was in the middle, we played Pokemon, although the Pokemon card game did get banned because somebody's cards got stolen before I got there. But we also had a load of horse chestnut trees in the kind of playground, so everybody collected all the Conkers, and it was great. So we played Pokemon and Conkers, so we had the best of both worlds.
Did you imagine that the Conkers were Pokeballs?
No, I don't think that ever kind of came into our heads, because they were just a bit too small, to be honest.
Oh, winter. Probably my favourite season, even though I was born in autumn. It's just, I kind of like the cold. I don't know, just something about it appeals to me.
I'm not a massive fan of the cold, if I'm honest. The cold did bother me anyway. Basically. But it's mostly like, I mean, I like the warm, cosy feeling of staying inside when there's snow outside. That is wonderful. I don't like walking outside in the cold, especially when it gets icy. That's not pleasant.
Okay. I don't like, ice along the pavement. Snow, I have no problem crunching through. That's wonderful. Slipping and sliding about is one of the reasons that I don't even go outside anymore. It's just awful.
Yeah, it's basically, I think, why most people tend to like snow levels and not ice levels. Everybody basically hates ice.
That's the best way to put it, really. Oh my god, I'm playing through Paper Mario Sticker Star right now.
And I feel very sorry for you, by the way.
The game was boring the shit out of me until I got to World 4, I want to say. And, oh my god, the snow level is really, really good.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's not going to stay that level of quality for the rest of the game, from what I recall. It's going to return to being terrible.
Well, I'm in the jungle level now. It's okay so far.
Yeah, I have nothing positive to say about Sticker Star other than the soundtrack's alright.
Oh my god, the soundtrack is really good, yeah. Like, was it Gooper Blooper or something like that?
Something like that. Basically, I have shut out the majority of my memories of Sticker Star. It's the same with, like, Epic Mickey. It's just like, there are very few games that actively make me angry, but Sticker Star was one of them.
Mm-hmm. And I can understand where you're coming from with Epic Mickey, because that was just it had a lot of potential, but it just fell short of the mark, and instead of being an interesting kind of game, it was just boring.
Exactly.
Helldragon. Since we're covering winter right now, your favourite Christmas memory?
I'd have to say probably my favorite Christmas memory was one year when... It was mostly when I got, like, a lot of Game Boy stuff. I got some Gundam models and things like that. It was just more or less just having, like, the whole family there. You know, it was like grandma, aunt, uncles, I think both of them were there. Just... having all the family together and just kind of hanging out and just, sharing each other's company. That, I think, it's a simple memory, I admit, but probably one of the warmest ones that I hold closely, to be melodramatic for a minute here.
No, yeah, I appreciate that kind of openness, mate. What about you, Richard?
I don't really know. Like, I love Christmas. I mean, I guess it's probably mostly going to see the Nottingham Playhouse Pantos.
Yes, we've covered this already, mate. Get to the point.
Yes, those are probably my favourite memories of Christmas time, just because they are very special, and they're also they're excellent pantomimes, so it's always a great fun, and also because it was generally Christmas Eve, it was wonderful atmosphere. Because, like, they got all the kids up onto the stage, and it's just like, oh, what do you want from Santa? And who you come with? And all of that, and it was just lovely. And then you had the entire theatre singing O Come All Ye Faithful, which it was just magical every single Christmas.
I have a lot of good Christmas memories, because I was honestly kind of spoiled as a child. Well, I was never really bad, per se, but I had a bit of a bratty tendency, and I still kind of do, as you can probably tell by my manic outbursts from time to time, but it has been added by a kind of hardened heart over the last few years. But I just remember I was a very lucky child. Literally like a sack of presents. And I do games console every year, every other year. And my mum would always be like, I remember this specifically, I think it was either the N64 or like the Super Nintendo. And I got a game for either console first. And I wondered, why are you giving me this? Because there's no console. Mum goes out of the room, comes in with the console. And my face fucking lit up like a Christmas tree. And besides that, the wonderful food, the wonderful music, the wonderful television shows, and it's basically the best holiday of the year. Suck it, Easter!
Well, see, because Easter doesn't have all the marketing, although it's weird now, you notice this, right? At least over here in America. What I love about it now, well, the Easter celebrations, when they're advertising it on TV, they're talking about shit like giving gifts for Easter. Suddenly there's this weird Christmas bent to it, and I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like, when the hell did the marketing companies come up with this shit? It came out of nowhere, but now you're expected to give presents for Easter? It's fucking candy, that's it.
No.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, but other than that, Christmas, yeah, definitely, my favorite holiday, too.
I guess we're like winding down Click Clockwood now, and just the levels in general, because it's the end game from the next part onwards. So, out of all the levels in the game, and we're talking like strictly from what you've seen and what you've heard, I want you to give me your top 3 and your bottom 3, and just to give Helldragon a little bit of time, Richie, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, because I definitely remember the names of all the levels.
If you can remember the level tropes, I will fill in the gaps for you.
So, I'd say Click Clockwood's probably quite high up there. This one's been quite fun, even though it's been a slight bogger to commentate over. That's just because it's so long. So this one's probably quite high up. Treasure Trove Cove was quite fun.
Hell yeah.
Mumbo's Mountain.
The very first level.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your top 3. What about your bottom 3?
Bottom 3, Rusty Bucket Bay. That's right at the bottom. That was dire. Probably Clanker's Cavern.
Similar in like colour scheme and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I can see what you mean there.
those. And probably Mad Monster Mansion.
Okay, fair enough. The darker levels, I've noticed.
Yeah, I don't do dark and misery.
Okay. Helldragon, same to you, mate. Top and then bottom 3.
Well, I personally don't think Mad Monster Mansion was that bad. I would have to put that more on the top 3, but also Treasure Trove Cove. This place in particular is pretty good. I like it. I have bottom 3, Rusty Bucket. What were the other one? Clanker's Cavern, yeah, that wasn't that great. I wasn't a huge fan of the Egyptian level.
Gobi's Valley.
Yeah, at the same time, like, I don't hate it, but it's just kind of meh to me, so...
Fair enough. We are done with this level, yes.
He has to dance because it's super cold. He's not even wearing... Well, does he have a shirt on? No, he doesn't. Okay.
He's wearing fur.
Well, okay, I suppose that helps out. He has a sweater all year, which is cheating. I'm sorry.
Although technically he should be hibernating right now, I think.
Well, yes, he should be, but I mean, it's Banjo, so he's not going to do that. He's slightly too thick.
I was hibernating at the start of the game, and then Tootie had to go and get kidnapped.
What does Kazooie do while Banjo is hibernating, if he does?
Also sleep. No, she lives rent-free in Banjo's backpack. That's the joke.
That's true.
Okay, I hope you guys are ready for one of the hardest parts of the game, because you can very easily die here.
Right.
You see the stretch of water below the ice?
Oh.
Remember Naughty the Beaver? We're gonna go see him. Haha, Naughty Beaver, this water drains your air bubbles twice as fast. Now, getting there, that's kind of challenging. Getting back out, that's the hard part.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Just about made it. A few seconds more and we probably would have died.
Core blimey, why the hell is he saying core?
Well, whatever. That's it, we have all the empty honeycomb segments. Let's check them stats. This won't be accurate in the slightest, but good enough.
I'm surprised the clock doesn't have eyes.
Maybe that was another thing Rare had to cut out of the game for space reasons.
Fucking book! Book as fast as you can in ice water, I suppose.
I like how in Tooie, you can actually send Kazooie out of Banjo's backpack while you're underwater as like a missile or a torpedo.
But that would mean that Banjo can't swim effectively at that point.
Well, in the water level, Jolly Roger something or other, I honestly forget the name of that level. I'm pretty sure I meant to bring this up in Clanker's Cavern. The spell that Mumbo casts in the level, like he's restricted to level magic and Humba Wumba takes over for like transformations. He casts an oxygenate spell on the water because like I would say 2/3 of the water or 2/3 of that level is underwater. Like you go to an Atlantis kind of thing in the bottom of the sea. It allows you to swim underwater without needing to breathe.
Oh, okay, that's all right then.
So it kind of takes a lot of the difficulty away in a good way. I mean. Last thing we need to do here, and it's for the last Gruntilda Jiggy of the game, we need the help of Mr. Buzzy Bee. Yeah, great, beautiful doll. You still don't know this music? You don't really strike me as the type to listen to ragtime, Richard.
I'm not really. It's not. I'm more classical than... Well, it's mostly video game and musicals that I listen to at the minute, but...
Neither of those are classical. Unless you're listening to the right musical, I should say.
Well, no, but like sometimes classical music, sometimes video game music, sometimes musicals, sometimes pop music, sometimes rock music. Basically anything that's, as long as it's not like rap or hip hop or what have you, I'll probably listen to it at some point.
Oh, you're such a fucking stereotype.
But yeah, ragtime blues is not one of the ones that I tend to go for that much. It's just not me.
Fair enough. I don't know how you sat through the Triplets of Belleville then.
Well, it's not that I don't like it.
It's a learning
just
experience, Tom. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not necessarily that I don't like this type of music, it's just that it's not something that I would actively seek out to listen to.
Okay, I think I've made you sweat enough now.
Did enough to get us to the B, so it's fine.
Hell yeah. I am the master of stalling. Oh, I feel so embarrassed because this B actually has another property to it, and I don't think I ever showed it off, because if you hold down the B button, you can go much faster.
Ah, the B button. Okay.
Ha ha ha!
Aha, ha 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 ha. Insert laughter.
Tom, it's fine. I forgot about the run button and the turbo button in No More Heroes. You're allowed to forget the speed up the B move.
Yeah, what is with Hellfire Comms and forgetting like the run or go faster button?
Because Mexi's got all of our speedrunning strats, so we go slow, he goes fast.
Where the fuck is he? I need those skills. That's why we haven't done a Sonic game for a while. Well, we'll get back to it eventually, I guess. I love how he waddles. He's so happy.
He's taking the bee out for a walk.
Peace. Great level, click like one.
That was pretty damn fun.
I always think Bottles is super sarcastic when he does this. Wow, your best score.
Well, you know, he has to put up with Kazooie's shit. Don't really blame him for becoming a little bit bitter. And there we go, we have all the jiggies in the game.
Yay!
Check some totals. I don't think that's accurate at all. Well, whatevs. Wow, this place has a really high ceiling. I guess because they expected the bee to fly around for a bit.
At least it's not a glass ceiling. That would be the worst kind.
Yeah, he doesn't have a victory dance. I hope you weren't expecting a bee to do a little jig.
You know, for a second there I was.
Yo, stop breaking the game.
That's enough from Mumbo. See you in the ending. Oh, we're coming up to something really fun now.
Oh boy.
He knows what's coming, you know what's coming. Join us next time when we partake in a little bit of furnace fun. See you then!